Shalom, shalom. We're going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Rakakwadash.
All right, double honors unto the elder high priest that taught our elder apostles, double honors unto our elder apostles and elder bishops at Great Millstone of GMS. Peace and blessings unto the elect out there of the nation of Israel. All right, that's who, the Spirit got us out here in the hopes of edifying. All right, so we back out here again, you know, and as we see, as a matter of fact, can you get Ephesians 5 and 15? We'll start right there, and then we can get second Esdras 9, Habakkuk 2. It's a lot going on, man. You got the small hats attacking the Persians, okay? You got the Persians retaliating, and as one of the elder brothers had brought out, when you look at the media, all right, we can also get 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. When you look at the media, the initial strikes came from Iran, right? Well, they called them preemptive. When you go into the definition of preemptive, all right, as a matter of fact, I'll bring it up. All right, which, hey, that brother made a good fucking point with that. I got it on my Google. Preemptive. And this is the definition from Google, preemptive. It means acting in advance to prevent something, especially to stop an anticipated problem or action. So when the media speaks about the small hats, which is all small hat control, by the way, right? Okay, they say a preemptive strike because we're trying to prevent something from happening in the future.
Right.
How is it you got a gun and I'm over here with my own nation and you come to me, you can't have a gun. We can, but you can't.
Right.
Right? We can attack other countries. We can bomb. Oh, we and have and is. And is even the Palestinians, they doing them dirt balls. While the world watching,
right,
and all that's justified. Ain't that kind of hypocritical? Right? But then again, going back to the definition, preemptive, preventing something from happening in the future. In other words, what they're saying is a preemptive strike to prevent them developing nuclear capabilities.
Right.
But you got it.
Right. And they've been talking about this for the last 15 plus years about Iran enriching uranium,
right,
for nuclear capability.
Yep.
So why all of a sudden now?
Oh, they just that
they
close.
that close now.
They was just about to so they had to, and we found out that the Iron Dome don't work that well. Okay? Because a lot of the barrage got through. Alright? So when you look at the media and how the media portrays the small hats as being the victims, right? They can do no wrong. You see? But then when this nation retaliates, trying to protect itself, because ain't that the sentiment that they push, the propaganda that they push here in Babylon the Great? No, they got the right to defend themselves, talking about the small hats.
Right.
But now, are they the only nation that has that right? What happened to all of that Geneva Convention, God-given rights, and all this other madness? That's why it speaks about in the book of Job that the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. Okay? Okay?
You had Ephesians 5,
yep,
15.
Yep.
All right, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then, when we started 14. Ephesians 5 and 14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest.
If you can't tell that these days are evil, then you are in fantasy land.
Right.
it was that easy to coerce Jakes to go and march up and down these damn streets yesterday. Because they oppressed.
Right.
Now they following that carrot, right? They chomping it, and it's something they can't attain.
Exactly.
Because they going about it the wrong way. You want justice, you want peace, this is the way to obtain it. By following your house shot, man.
Right.
You okay?
Like Esau is gonna lay down and stop. Esau gonna just lay down and stop doing wickedness,
right,
because of protest. People protest. Shit, this devil don't give a shit
at all.
And then he's setting it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know? He's doing the deception. You okay? All under the guise of the angels sealing the instructions in his mind. You know? He's not doing something on his own accord. The Most High is making him do this so he can set up the pins for when that ball comes through a destruction to knock them all down, man. You know? It's going to be a clean. All the pins going to fall. Strike. Okay, it's going to have that big X on the board. See? And his name and his son's name is going to be glorified throughout the world.
Yep.
The world going to know why everything happened the way it happened, and it's going to come in a harsh manner. You know? It's going to be like getting thrown up against a brick wall at 100 miles per hour. It's all crumbling down. You got it.
All right, Ephesians 5 and 14. Wherefore he said, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead.
Yep.
And Mashiach shall give thee light.
Yep. Redeem the times, because these days are evil, man. Okay? This is the time to be buying back the time.
Right. And this is only to the elect.
Period.
You know? It's only going to be a small number.
Yep.
That come up out of this madness mindset.
Raised from the dead. That get raised from the dead. You know? And not like the movie Thriller or the video Thriller. There ain't going to be zombies coming up. No. These dead bones is going to come together. This is life is created.
Right.
Okay? Real life. All right? Which is through the Spirit. Where it says the Spirit quickening, meaning bring us to life. That's what the word quicken means.
Yep. And life is what?
Yep.
The understanding of these scriptures.
Yep. Which is Yahweh Shai.
May we bring that out real quick?
Absolutely.
Proverbs 21 and 16.
Absolutely.
I'll be right back to Ephesians.
It's Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Read that again.
So Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 16. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead.
Yep. So without understanding of what? Understanding of the marine world, understanding of astrology, understanding of the Egyptian book of the dead. No, understanding these holy scriptures.
Yeah.
You know, then you have you're not spiritually dead, but you've been awakened.
Yeah.
You're alive. You know. Hey, and Jacob the world is getting bombarded with the prophecies. I mean, it's smacking the whole world in the face. And that shows you the power of the Heavenly Father that these people are still asleep. Talking about you, Jakes. Jake is still stuck on stupid.
Yep.
And as Esau empire crumbles.
Yep. And Esau got something, a distraction for every thought Jake got going through their mind.
Right.
Should I go join the marches? Right. Black and brown. He got that little piece of shit dangling over here. So you got Jake fixated. Should I get out there? And you got you You know, he got another distraction. The Diddy trial. All that. Oh, you got Jake that's gung ho about the military. They was like, man, I hope this protesting don't disrupt the 250-year anniversary. You got Jake that still support Trump and was celebrating his birthday. Okay, so Esau got a little distraction for everybody.
You got it ain't really uphill like Mother's Day, but Father's Day.
Oh, yeah.
You got
Today.
dummies. Yeah.
Is it?
And it's a low speed on this thing.
Mother's Day, all the restaurants, packed, busy.
That's mama.
Jewelry stores, they got legs.
Commercial after commercial for Mother's Day.
Yeah. Esau,
Tires are getting bought.
Esau know how to play. Hey, that really play on Jake, man. Mother's Day, that really play on Jake. Esau is more about honoring his daddy, man. They mama just kind of is there. And believe me, I see it with these wealthy Edomite families. The mama, yeah, she's there, but she ain't bigged up like they daddies.
Yeah, sometimes there's a resentment there towards their mother.
Straight up, yeah.
What's happening today is all these fucking single mothers is jumping up talking about, oh, I'm a Father's Day is for me too.
Yeah. You niggas can't have shit.
Yeah.
But again, Esau played that Mother's Day shit because Jake is a mama's boy, man. So you know Jake travel across the world to go be with their mama on that one day, man.
Right. While the world is crumbling. While
You
Esau
gotta
world
keep
is,
saying
yeah.
that.
Got to, because it's all BS. This place is going down the shit.
Literally.
And Jake is still just chilling.
Yeah. Well, one person made it off that.
Right.
But he jumped off.
Yep.
Right. Jumped off.
Nigga that crashed.
Shit. Whatever we done.
Ephesians 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
These people that are following all of these little media trends that get them to go do this and go do that and march over here and protest that, they walking as fools, man. Why? Because they not following the light, which is the Lord, man. Okay? Because you may know the scriptures, but you got to understand the scriptures like the elder was saying. Wisdom is the principal thing.
Yep.
You know, Proverbs 4. The whole fourth chapter. You know? But you got to get understanding.
It gives you the rundown.
Yeah.
How you ain't about just learning some information.
Right. See, that's the advantage of the illuminated ones on the right hand side. You see, we understand why. We don't just know, okay, we know all this stuff is happening, but we understand why it's happening, okay, and what it's going to lead to. Right.
They don't understand the big picture is the MOTB.
Nope.
Everything that's happening is going to lead to that, man.
Yep.
And we understand the severity behind that. Like now you got IUIC trying to sprinkle in, oh, it may be, or it is going to be a digital system, but they're not telling you, all right, the gravity of what that means, man. All right, this is the last test, the last temptation, all right, to prove who's faithful to the Most High and who's not.
Yeah, something this grand that's taking place is not going to be in the scripture.
That's going to affect the whole world.
Right.
Simultaneously. Okay? It says that shall come upon all the world. All right? That ain't just something to take light. You see?
Shalom, GMS, Yukon, Canada.
Shalom. Way out there. Y'all ever been to Canada?
Yukon, Canada.
Send us some of that loose meat.
Y'all ever been to Canada? The words that we speak in here,
That's it.
See that? That's it. Look at that.
we ain't even stepped off this grass. We standing and we being still in the Lord. I'm teasing, you know. But we ain't going nowhere. We didn't have to jump on the jet. The scriptures already tell us about the World Wide Web. We let The scriptures tell us to be wise as serpents. Is it even wise to get on a plane right now? We were just joking about that plane that took off. I forgot where they was headed, but I think they was leaving India. Y'all remember?
Oh, they was going into London.
Oh, going to London from India, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And only one person survived that day. They wasn't up in there, what, 30 seconds? Like it took off, blew,
Fast.
and one guy jumped off the plane before he crashed like on Bugs Bunny. How they jump out at the last minute. That nigga must got spiritual power. Shit. Y'all don't believe that shit.
First of all, that's well, I know they went to a certain altitude, man, but you gotta open that fucking hatch. You got this ain't like no little single pilot plane.
You moving at the same speed of that fucking plane, bro. That plane gotta get up to some miles per hour to take up off the ground.
Yeah, that's
Even coming down is going. If you doing 30 miles per hour and you fall 25 feet, you fucked up. That nigga still had on his flip flops and everything.
Yeah, how they know? Well, he must have told him he jumped. How they know? They had we seen one person jump off the fuck out of here, man. That shit is only in the movie.
Hey, well, you know, that's what we watching. We been watching a bunch of made up, make believe shit, man.
Mission Impossible.
Yeah. And ain't no telling what all we have seen that ain't even real. Because you think that AI shit just started in the last couple of months. This shit been going on,
They're
man.
just rolling it out now. You'll be, and you could hear the voice. You could tell it's automated, man.
Like the apostle said, even like with them AI songs, they lack what did he say? Some kind of depth. I forgot what it's called, but you can tell it's soulless.
Yeah, right.
You can just tell it ain't got no soul in that. I don't like them AI songs.
Hey, but that's the thing, man. Hey, Esau can imitate, but he can't create.
That's right.
So he can't put a spirit out there. He can't create a spirit. That's that's the one ingredient.
Yep.
You can't create life.
Yep. And everything that you using to imitate, you had to borrow.
Exactly.
Okay? You didn't make none of these elements. You didn't make you. See? The potter did. And you are the vessel fit for destruction. Which somebody get Amos 1 and 11. Oh, finish that too. I can
Ephesians 5 and 16. Redeeming the times because the days are evil.
See there? It's time to wake out of sleep. You see? Buying back the time. This is that time. Okay? Yep. But now is our salvation.
Man.
Yeah, it's man. Woo! Yep.
Yep.
All we got to do is everybody get down to your nearest chipping station.
Yeah.
Hey, and we can, we can feel the climate within, the brotherhood, that shit is getting
tight.
Yeah, shit is getting real tight.
Yeah.
And that, there's really no time to waste. I mean, you look up and it's like, damn, where does the day go?
Yeah.
So we really don't have time to be wasting.
What if you'd have been asleep the last couple of days, like not paying attention to the news? Because it's a cat that we know. Hey, I know even a person I work with, which a lot of them are like this. A lot of people are like this, that are just getting their money. I don't even watch the news. I don't even pay attention to none of that. I don't even want to know. Their attitude is the attitude Cypher had in the Matrix. Ignorance is bliss. It don't exist. It don't exist.
I don't care if it's fake.
I know this steak. I can't taste it. I know it don't exist. But ignorance, for me to ignore, I'm not turning on the news. I don't want to see the attacks in other countries. I don't want to hear about this digital system.
Right. But when the CV-19 came on the scene, they had to deal with it.
You had to get it shoved down your throat.
When Hurricane Harvey came on the scene, they had to deal with it. Hurricane Ike, and hurricanes down in Florida, and Katrina, and these so-called natural disasters, which is the Most High getting busy with the angels,
Yep.
using the angels, you know. But then when things like that happen, you ain't got no choice but to
You
acknowledge.
got to deal with it.
Yeah.
When your roof is off your house, or you know water is coming into your house from the
Ground.
flooding.
Yep.
San Antonio is underwater.
Yep.
See,
Cause
It showed on the freeway. It looked like a raging river.
Yep.
On the fucking highway.
Yep.
and Esau wants you stupid people in that mindset.
That's global warming. Global warm.
Right.
You know, that's what that is. That's what they'll tell you it is. You okay? Yet they got all of these different systems set up, all right, in the atmosphere to cause these disasters. And nonetheless, however it go, it's the Most High visiting this place. You okay? Because again, he made this devil. All right?
I want to read the next
Oh,
verse.
go on.
Whenever.
Okay.
It's Ephesians 5 and 16. I'm gonna read 17 too. Yeah, got you. It says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. And the days are more evil than ever before. Right now. It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is.
Yep.
And only the elect understand.
Yep. What his will is. And his will is everything that's happening. Everything. His
Right.
will is everything.
People think the world, you got a lot of people, oh, the world is, we don't know what's going to happen, and everything, they're having a meltdown about the condition of the world, and we understand that we happy about it.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to these prophecies, the rest of them coming to pass. You know? That means that our Lord is about to crack the clouds.
You got people, why would the Lord allow this to happen?
Yeah.
You don't understand the will of the Lord.
Yeah. Shit. Why it took so long? That's our shit. Wait.
The water, y'all. Yeah. We hastening it. Okay? We look forward. We're eager for the day of the Lord, man. Ain't nothing here for us. We ain't got no woman. Our children ain't ours.
That's it.
We don't own shit. The money you think you got ain't yours. Nothing here is for us, man.
Yeah, and even if you get money.
It
I
ain't
woke
yours.
up, I looked at my different news feeds, and that dude, Xavier something, the receiver for the Chiefs, the new rookie guy. It ain't Xavier something. But then he ain't I'm just bringing up a point. Guy just got a $13 million contract.
Who took him for half? Half the woman got him.
That's it.
I knew it.
His woman, well, he was kicking out the woman because she was cheating, but she didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
The point is, you get all this money, so-called money,
And no power.
but you can't control your woman.
Wow.
You ain't got nothing if you can't. And Jake, bug out over their women.
Yep.
And not only men bug out over their women.
You got one of the Texans. I don't know if you forgot what position.
Xavier Worthy.
That's the one got arrested.
No. That's
Okay, so I don't remember his name. He ain't important, but one of the major, like a linebacker or something for the Texans. He's sitting in jail right now for domestic violence or something.
Ray
Why?
Caruth.
You think? Yeah.
Ray Caruth.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Shit, I was about to say shit. I guess that's it. He sound like a nigga that can't control his wife. Yeah, but
No, he went to jail for murder.
I was gonna say Earl Campbell. I ain't gonna even lay. I ain't gonna even joke.
Yeah, but you think this man got all that money and status, and he just came home and said, I'm about to start terrorizing the household. No, something had to happen to piss him off, but he's the one sitting in jail.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward, okay. Strangulation. Yeah, that means you don't strangle a motherfucker for
Just
no reason.
out walking out.
Right.
Yeah. We just bringing out these examples to show you that it ain't shit here.
Or you can be like Will Smith.
Ooh.
Will Smith know how to control his anger when dealing with the wants and needs of his wife being happy. He know how to control.
Even at
See,
the
these men
red
just
table.
ain't controlled. Men are barbaric and toxic. That's
Right.
toxic masculinity. Finding out your woman is fucking somebody else and you want to choke her.
Yeah. Well, Will Smith sat down at the what they call the red
And
table
cried.
and
Yeah.
and had to. She told him straight. He knew it was already happening, but they talked about her infidelity in a manner that was okay.
Suitable for
She
children
did
to
it
watch.
for a justified reason.
Yeah.
And he sat there at the table and they reasoned and had a conversation
You should
about
have jumped across that table.
Yeah.
her sleeping
Should
with
have smacked
her
that
sleeping with her son's
friend,
friend.
who her
Wow.
son more than likely was sleeping with, because the dude
Right.
ended up coming out the closet later on anyway. The son been out the closet. But ain't no telling, that bitch might have been in there fucking her son and that nigga, bro. We talking about some weird, sick, twisted, sadistic ass
Right.
families, man.
Jake should see this stuff. What's going on with these actors and entertainers and athletes and want to have nothing to do with it.
The
You
righteous
know what?
is
I'm
more.
good.
Yep,
I'm done.
yep.
I don't want to go that route because they ended up in a bad situation at the end of it.
Magic Johnson can't say nothing about his son, huh?
Absolutely. They
Dwayne
taking
Wade
family
gotta go.
pictures.
Yeah.
They got to put that shit out on the world mainstream media.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduces them. You think they didn't go to school with a bunch of little weirdo, private school weirdo white kids?
Jada Pinkett, going back, she remember her and Pop was in a performance art school.
Yeah.
But now further down, the children they didn't came up like you said in private schools amongst Esau, amongst other entertainers' children. Complete wickedness.
Which ain't traditional with Jake's families. It was morals in the house. You didn't do certain shit, even if you had a moat in your family or a boat. That shit had a term called in the closet. That wasn't something that was sashayed around and upheld like, ooh, you know. Now who perpetuate that shit? Eve, man.
Yep. Best friends with them.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, we talk about men.
That's my best. No.
And see, a lot of times the moles, they don't pose, the moles, they don't pose a threat. They got money, but they ain't got kids for the most part. So they got money, they get positions because they moles. Okay? So Eve like to go out with them too because they gonna flip the bill. And they like to turn up and get loud just like the black woman. Hey, all that shit. And they like to shake they fucking ass, man. This shit got to go. What we was there?
Whatever you
Yeah, that brother had a precept.
It's Mark chapter 13 and verse 34. For the Son of Man is a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Because the elder was going into, a guy in the world will fall asleep for 3 days, and then wake up and, oh shit, Israel and then bombed on Iran, because they not watching, man. All right, the men of the Lord was commanded to watch. All right, and then come out and prophesy on the highways and byways, man.
Right. And then they may see, they ain't got nothing to do with us.
That's way over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh well. I wonder what time the game starts.
They don't know that Jake don't even know that America is allied with Israel.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Jakes that do, but you got Jake, they don't know nothing. They just
And
out here.
they don't know who Iran's allies are either.
They don't know shit. They out here in Texas. They had a bill that was sending like $4 million a year to Israel, and then these Edomites over here in Texas got pissed off.
It was
They said,
a town,
yeah,
small city,
Yeah.
somewhere around here, huh?
Yeah.
But it was like 4-point-something million, and they was like, nah, we don't want our money getting sent over there. And Greg Abbott was like, nah,
Yeah, we're gonna keep sending it.
better believe it. So the governor, the president of Texas, said, y'all got something else, think again.
It's like a lot of people don't understand prophecy. Like what we say about the least of the flocks are God and law. They don't know that the things that Israel do to bring America into war.
Yep.
I was reading the article, it was basically saying that Israel strike on Iran, they was like, well, it's a good thing that we got the U.S. on our side.
Right.
That's what they depending on the United States.
Yep.
Yeah, send them troops. We need them.
And you see how they played it? Trump didn't know nothing about it.
Right.
But he gave the green light 6 months ago. See? Yeah, he fucking knew how the hell the commander-in-chief of the free world don't know about it.
Right.
Come on, man. And it's all being controlled by an elite group anyway. And see, they also control, again, like we were speaking about, the media.
Exactly. So that's what the elites do. They get together and they talk about world agenda, taking over the world, and how they got to stage things and play games with the minds of the people.
Yep.
You know, to really think, yeah, there's war going on, but all this shit is set up.
Yeah. They got rooms of eggheads that was bred groomed for nothing but being a think tank subject on how to forward this agenda.
Exactly. Like, for an example, Aaron Russo, when he was being interviewed.
But that's the spirit.
Okay.
When you said that, Elder, I was looking at that sign on the side of that building. It say Russo. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when
That's crazy.
Aaron Russo was being interviewed by Alex Jones, he was speaking in third person about his interaction with Nick Rockefeller, and he was saying how Nick Rockefeller was telling him how they was gonna stage 9/11, but he didn't say 9/11 in that interview. Right. He said they're gonna have men looking in the mountains, or the military looking in the mountains for a boogeyman.
The boogeyman. Yeah, the boogeyman.
And he was like, well, he was like, well, when it happened, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know, because they was trying to bring Aaron Russo in to the Council of Foreign Relations, into that circle. You know, probably at the lower tier.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, you know. And just showing you, he said, and he was like, well, how you going to get the people to believe it? Because he let them know there's going to be some shit staged in the Middle East, and when it happens, you're going to know about it. He said, well, how you going to get the people to believe it? Or how, you know, you and your family, so, or whatever, the group, how y'all going to get them to believe it? And he said, through the media.
Yeah.
Because they control the media.
Exactly.
That's why, like, even with this No King protest, all right, every city, they just say the same amount, thousands of people. Now, they said yesterday it was 26,000 people here in Houston, downtown, protesting. Right? That City Hall is about 3 blocks from here. It would have been people all the way down here on this fucking street. But they do the same thing. They shoot an aerial view, all right, or they get a back view. They make sure everybody's bunched together, and they tell you thousands of people pour it out. It's bullshit.
It's just like when you be watching the Weather Channel, the hurricane coming. Yeah, we're trying to hold on for dear life out here.
Right.
And then he saw come running in the background in shorts, walking his dog and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here, man.
Right. And then the people so stupid. Damn, it was about 20,000 out there.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I missed out. I should have been there too.
See, boring news don't sell. Bad news is what sells. Uproar and getting your emotions going and getting your blood pressure up. That's the news that got moxie. They got pizzazz.
That's gonna make people talk about it.
Right.
They get to work. You heard about it?
I saw it on this. I saw it on that. They selling something to it as well as pushing an agenda. They also trying to make money off of that shit. Esau got it's a racket all the way around, man. You had something?
You said that Michael, right?
Yeah, Michael.
This Micah, this Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
Yep. Those they got the power. You got it.
No, I was just gonna say that goes for these staged events.
Yes.
You know, as well. Not just, you know, the other ventures in the wicked ventures in the world, you know, of robbing and raping, robbing and pillars in the planet. You know, they sit down. They talk about how they gonna fool the people and have them believing in this and to forward ultimately to forward their agenda of establishing the NWO. They got to cause a lot of chaos, war, financial collapse,
Mm-hmm.
a world economic collapse. Say it right.
Why
You
would
gotta
Trump?
create fear too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best way to
Yeah,
control.
everybody is. Yeah, because when you are uncertain about, when you're in the spirit of uncertainty and all this shit is going on in the world, then of course you're gonna be in a state of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fear. I don't know if I'm gonna lose my job.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm gonna get laid off. I don't know if they're gonna keep hiking up the price is gonna keep increasing. Not knowing is a fearful thing.
Yeah. People fearing getting their wages garnished.
Yep.
Oh, the black woman. Yeah, buddy, you know
Yeah, she's still working. She might get her unemployment garnished. You see, because a lot of y'all that lost them type of jobs, y'all was paying off student loans. In the midst of that, man, all that education, wasting fucking time. Instead of getting under a man,
exactly.
you know, working together with that man and y'all two build and can't say it can't be done, it's been done.
And
Esau do it all the time.
Yeah, and more oppressive, times.
Yeah.
Women was really, there was really issues going. Well, there's still issues going on, but I mean, Esau was coming down on Jake with in their face suppressing. I mean, just direct. You know,
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws and all that shit. The shit going on all the way. That's why Jake in the '60s was all riled up and ready to come against this man. Because Esau was putting it right in their face that we your enemy and we still F you over. Now Jake thinks Esau to let off the gas and he's good and
Right.
he ain't really bothering him. You got the same opportunity as a so-called white man. A woman or a woman, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah, Rob Body supposedly say the Truman Show.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yep.
what this is.
Yep.
Theatrics. And it's ultimately the Most High's theatrics. But Esau think he's controlling this thing.
Right.
Esau think he's running.
Right.
He really got a grip on this plan.
Yep.
And the Most High is gonna show his ass.
Yep. You are his. The deceived and the deceiver. You deceiving, being deceptive, doing all this wickedness within the earth. The Most High is making you do it to satisfy His will. Okay? His will. All right? He created you for a purpose, Esau. All right? And you're serving that purpose to a T. You've done it perfectly. Okay? That perpetual hatred. All right? That continual stroke. You ain't let off. But that's okay. Because that's what you were brought here to do.
Right. That's how the Most High wired you.
Yep.
He wired you to be wicked. To be the son of perdition.
Yep.
To be the man of sin. To show the elect the height of wickedness. And how much damage going against the grain of the law brings.
Yep.
To prepare us for priesthood.
Yep. How to be proper judges.
You got something? I got a quick precept.
Okay.
You want him to finish, Michael?
And Genesis too. If we can get
I just bring this out real quick. This Job 33 and 15. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. So Esau's not operating on his own will. There is no free will. Esau think he got a free will. That's the Most High playing a vicious trick on this devil. He don't even realize He realized it, but he think he can
He still
overcome
think he can
the
figure out
power of
something.
Yahweh Shai.
I get around it.
Because the scriptures tell you that, you know, the devil believes, or they say Satan believes these scriptures.
Yes. Yep. Shit. Satan went and tempted the Lord. Shit.
Esau know this book is the truth.
Yes, sir.
Because you can't tell lies and basically have an empire going for all these years, okay, without knowing it, which is based upon lies without knowing it.
Without knowing it. Yep. Yep.
This man established his kingdom based upon lies and kept him going to this day.
Yep.
Real quick, it's Job 12 and 16. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. They belong to the Most High, man. Everybody is under the operations of the Heavenly Father, man.
Yep.
All right? Satan is a top employee, man.
Yep.
All right? That's why the elites are deceived, because they trusted in Satan. Oh, he's giving us power.
Yep.
He's lifting us up on the left-hand side. And it's going to be one day Satan going to clock out. Yahweh Shai going to tell him, hey, your shift over with.
Yep, employee of the millennium.
Yeah. You are never late.
All-time employee on the left-hand side anyway.
Put in OT. Whatever you need, he's there. The Most High, you got it.
Proverbs 16:4. Yahweh has made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
Yep, so to have these bad times, these extremely bad times, ill times, you need the wicked. The Most High set the wicked in power to fulfill evil in the earth. And Jake is doing evil shit on a small level.
Yeah.
People, and that's not, you know, on elite status, they doing petty crimes. You know, even the ones that so-called big crime and shit, that's petty stuff.
The blue-collar crimes.
Yeah, when you go and mess over millions of people and take their resources, you know, in the name of colonialism. You know?
Yeah, Jake ain't even pulling a Bernie Madoff. You, Jake, ain't never even hit a Bernie Madoff.
Jake can't pull off his first armed robbery.
The heist that the B-Dub doing is stealing chicken wings and shit out the school kitchen.
And getting caught stealing out of Walmart.
And still ain't taking accountability.
Yeah, you can't even get out of Walmart no more.
You big and out of shape.
You gotta be out of your mind to try to
You
steal
got
out
big
of
shirts
Walmart.
and trying to run away from the goddamn security.
Put a bonnet on.
Yeah, they following after shit. Hey, he's showing you. Oh, she right after Esau when it comes to thievery.
Oh, yeah.
She's stealing all of them. You get on the YouTube, they got countless videos of Eve trying to scam it. She's scamming every damn thing, writing fake checks and forging, and stealing
Boosting.
Yeah, sitting in that bank and shit, and then the officer come in there, hey, come on, come, you got to come with me. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I feel it works. I'm still on the clock.
Convenience
Speak of the devil. 144 on the license plate, though.
7
Where you going, Shit.
Yeah, come on, back up, listen.
Shit. Go ahead, guys. Oh, Salaki. I know what I wanted to mention. They showed Eve, her and her little daughter. They each had a basket. And the daughter was stealing shit. They got caught, and they was like at the door, hey, when you teaching your daughter, and the little girl started talking shit. My mama doing this so we can survive. We doing this, got belligerent. A young, she couldn't have been 12.
like Esau really give a fuck about her.
He ain't that
She
shit.
been trained up.
Y'all both finna get maced and tased.
Yeah, them days is over, man. That's why they hyping up and pushing this protesting spirit.
Yep.
Because now it's gonna be justified to start laying bodies down.
Yep.
They're pushing the narrative against it, and it's crazy. You got Marines and National Guard and trained people against regular civilians, but this is what happened in Rome.
Yep.
All right? Hey, people didn't like Nero. Nero wasn't loved, man. All right? It was a rebellion, and then in the midst of that, it was what? This word was going out strong, man.
Yeah.
Same thing today. Because the main picture is getting to the prophets, man. The rest of these people are just fucking extras. All right, casualties of war. The main objective is to justify coming after the members of the Lord, man.
Yep. That guy looking for it. Yeah, you know he got he making the world go round.
He a loser. He had to park on the street.
Man, he's been in valet. Nah, he be motherfuckers like that be billionaires. What you gonna say now?
Yeah, they give you civilians, you know, you useless eaters accustomed to having the military on your streets, man.
Yep.
You know, constantly patrolling you in any situation. Oh, bring out the National Guard, bring out the Marines. Man, that shit wasn't even at no dire situation to where they even need to bring the military out there, man. You know, and that shit is against constitutional law. You know, but where are you 1776 six-pack crackers at, man? Where you constitutionalist crackers, all right, calling out Donald T, man? You ain't doing it. You know? So guess what? Since you ain't doing it, Esau gonna keep pushing, man. Push as much as he can.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
There's no king operating like he's a king.
Yeah.
That's why you got all these different courts and these different judges fighting and shit, going back and forth.
And they stupid ass don't know that Esau been running this thing as a dictatorship,
Right.
under the guise of democratic democracy. Or democracy. I said democratic. Yeah, democracy.
He told you that there wasn't gonna be no more elections after he got in office. What does that mean? What does that mean? I mean,
They call him the
straight up
last
said it.
president.
Yep.
Last president.
Yep. Hey, and as far as sympathy for Jake, Esau ain't got look. Y'all had a little bit. They had some Edomites that had a little, you know, and was trying to work with you niggas. There's this guy, the creator of the Boondocks, Aaron Magruder. Yeah, he did he was doing an interview or giving a speech. I think it was covered by I think CNN had covered it or whatever. He said, look, the sympathy that these white folks had for you niggas at one time, all that shit is gone. Because they done seen y'all out here acting a goddamn fool, being complete goddamn monkeys, and guess what? Now they're poor too. So they only worrying about themselves now. You niggas are on your own. You see? What cause is there to stand behind Jake? What you niggas, what is it that y'all want that anybody should stand behind and be like, oh, okay, yeah, no, nobody's not with y'all no more, man. The black woman out here hanging off of chandeliers, drinking out of punch bowls and dumping punch on her head like a monkey. You niggas is walking around with your pants off your ass,
These weird hairdos.
mop tops.
Oh, and with bonnets and shit on your damn head.
Men with bonnets.
And that's a recent thing. You didn't really see that 5 years ago.
When they first started doing it, niggas was letting them have it.
Yeah.
Man, y'all look like some straight up. And now niggas is
And
wearing fucking
why?
bonnets.
Because the fucking mom wants, like these goddamn black
They want
women,
to be like they mom.
they always want their damn sons. A lot of these young bros, they want their sons to have long hair, braids. I know a bunch of females over my life that wanted their children to have braids because it's cool and hip
Yep.
in their mind. Yeah, he got long hair. So she's the one putting them in these fucking bonnets and encouraging, put a bonnet on it because your hair got to stay
A certain type of
protected
way.
and shit. All this
Fake hair, dog.
bullshit.
Nah, you gotta maintain that damn weave.
And women wasn't even, I don't remember women wearing bonnets and shit like
Not
that.
out.
Like,
Oh, they wrap their head at night
Before
and
they went to sleep. They got
take
up,
that shit off.
they might make breakfast, and then when they finish, they take that thing off to get ready for the day. That wasn't something they wore to go. My grandparents and my mom and them, ain't nobody never wore no fucking pajamas to go to the store.
Yeah.
You walk to the door with some pajamas on, if you touch that doorknob, my mama gonna ask you, boy, where you going?
Like, you know, you don't go out there about the house like that. Then they out walking out with their body, their anatomy.
Oh, forget it.
It's ridiculous, man.
Who will stand behind that and back you up on anything.
Yeah.
You don't even respect yourself.
Right.
Nobody don't give a shit about your 2/3 no more, man. And guess what? You fell for it. Where we were at? We had just brought that. What we got? Yeah, just read it from the top. Go ahead.
This is Psalm 64 and 2. I'm going to read it in the KJV first and then in the NIV. In the Psalm 64 and 2 in the KJV, it says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." And King David, this applied at his time, but it applies to now, man. Okay? So dealing with these wicked elite, man. All right, they're in control of everything that you see, think, and do, man. They're controlling the minds of the people. All right, through creating, like the elder said, through the media. Okay, we dealing with something as small as the black woman and the condition they in. Esau is the fucking the demon behind this, man.
Right.
Okay, but we not getting caught up in his spells, man. We have Yahweh Shah, all right, within us to protect us from these demonic forces that's encompassed the whole earth, man. All right, but I wanted to get this in the NIV as well. It says, "Hide me from the conspiracy of the wicked, from the plots of evildoers." And that's what we are doing, man. All right, we hoping and praying, all right, to be protected from this devil's plans, man. All right, and the only way to be protected is to have faith in the Heavenly Father, to not bend to the will of the wicked, man.
Yep.
It's Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me."
Read that again, Baba Shah.
This Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine,
Right.
wholly a right seed."
Because when you go back, like we didn't bring that out, but in the book of Habakkuk, get Habakkuk 2 and 3, I think it is, real fast. Where it says his soul is not upright in him. Bring that out real fast.
2 and 4, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him,
Yep.
but the just shall live by his faith."
But the just, okay, so we're the just. See, the Most High created us to be righteous, okay, and follow His ways. You see, which are these laws, statutes, and commandments? All right, to get the understanding, to call upon His name and His Son. Okay. Now read that again, I.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed."
Holy, pure, clean. See what messes us up and gets us filthy, all right, in the spiritual sense, is following the other nations. You see, mainly Esau Edom. Okay? Because he's really the one that's he's at the top. Okay?
Yep. Cultural assimilation.
Yep.
Is that how you say it? Yeah, which is Esau have cultivated niggas,
Yeah.
wickedness. So
Black
Jacob's
people, white
operating in
people. Yeah. He created all these constructs.
And even with Esau's immigration system, he only wants certain countries, a certain percentage of each country of their people to come to this country so that they can be, culturally assimilated.
Self-behavior.
right. Colonized.
Yep.
Yeah,
that colonized
yeah,
mindset.
that mindset.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
comes with colonization. It ain't just
yeah.
the act of the dirty, vicious act of rape, robbery, and murder. Pretty what they taking control, and then what they institute and implement philosophy, their philosophy.
In other words, being like they are. You see, you got Issacharites, let's just say Mexicans, that are now coming on TikTok and whatever, talking about they don't represent us. They don't represent us. He's holding up a Mexican flag. Da 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 da. Oh well, we welcome you, sir. You're a Mexican coon.
Right, because your stupid asses were taken over by the Spaniards.
Right.
Okay, which is Esau. Edomites.
You see,
Yeah.
them is the niggas, and that nigga go for all 2/3 of the tribe. That's the type of niggas Esau want. He want a bunch of Carltons. You know, the ones that's gonna follow his ways. He want a bunch of Tom the lawyer on the boondocks.
Oh,
Never speed. Always got your seatbelt on.
And in your mind, you think you're doing the right thing.
I'm being right because I'm being white.
Yeah.
But the white man, so-called, is the most vicious, murderous, evil, diabolical being on this planet because the spiritual demon Satan works through him, man. But you niggas think, oh, I got on the time. You know, I pay my taxes. I vote. Hey, I'm on the HOA.
Right.
You know,
That means you really down with Esau's
with whatever, and it don't matter what it is.
It don't matter what it is.
Because it puts me in the light of being an upstanding citizen.
Right.
See?
The same individuals don't think nothing against the LGBTQ, the abominable acronym. You see? Because most people didn't listen. Most of these people here in Babylon the Great accept that shit. That even people that wouldn't have accepted it 15, 20 years ago.
What kind of cruel? No, yeah, you know, we can all coexist. Coexist. No, this is the Tower of Babel, man.
I got it.
Well, Revelation 13 and 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Basically, those who are not of the elect, they're gonna be wrapped all into this man's system, and whatever he comes with, they're gonna be with it. Because he conditioned them for it every day. Yeah. And by using his witchcraft, the media.
Yep. Yep, you got everybody strung out. Esau, I'm down at the lab. Esau got everybody strung out on something.
Something.
Even if you strung out on his Babylonian juice.
People strung out on food.
That's yeah.
Well, it was supposed to be food.
Yeah.
Strung out on democracy, Christianity. You know.
Yeah, that's the biggest drug. Jesus.
Woo, that Jesus
Got everybody doped up.
Yeah, doped up on Jesus. Hey, we could make t-shirts and make a killing that say doped up on Jesus. Woo.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were drawn swords. And that's what, you know, that's he's done lulled you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to sleep. You know, back like they were saying earlier, in the 60s, they understood that this was a devil. But now, you know, he done gave y'all some gifts and shit. And now, we can, like I said, we can all coexist. We can, no. But he got them swords for your ass. He's waiting on you to come up slipping.
Hey, we have something. Isaiah 30, we're talking about Jake like to hear smooth words.
Yeah.
You bring that up.
Yep.
Read that again.
That's why they like listening to Esau's speeches and shit.
It sounds so good.
Now, you don't understand half the shit he's saying. He's subtly telling you, I'm about to fuck you over.
Right. Because Jake was against Trump in the beginning of his second term running, and then all of a sudden Jake started jumping on board. All the tribes, from the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom. You know, straight up. Because it was, Trump came with that shit. Trump was a smooth talking man.
Psalms chapter 55 and verse 21, it says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Hey, then look what happened. You stupid ass Latin tribes, y'all got on board. Mainly the ones that had jobs, had shit going for them.
Yep, a big truck.
Yeah. Big truck with the
Linear tortillas.
lift kit on it.
Yeah.
You know. And then when he got in there, he showed you war.
I came in the horn. Yep.
Number T gonna be all out. Hey man, they say he doing this shit right now. The Northern Kingdom, we gonna be doing it to all you civilians, man.
Right.
All you so-called citizens of America, man.
Right.
You know,
niggas.
But
They would think it's shit good. They talking shit. Well, that's them. They ain't fucking with us. They ain't never stood up with us.
yeah.
That's the same thing on if y'all ever saw Which Way Is Up with Richard Pryor.
Right.
He say that's twins them white folks and them Mexicans. What you doing getting mixed up in that bar?
Oh yeah.
Twins them white folks and them Mexicans.
Oh, while you saw him, got his
Twins.
foot still all in your ass.
Right.
Yeah, sideways, foot turned sideways, kicking you in your ass.
That's more his deception. He'll think, okay, I'm just fucking with Issachar. I ain't fucking with you, Judah.
Right now,
Right. But it trends out.
Shit,
He
fuck
pick with each tribe. Yeah.
You've been fucking with enough to stay mad.
Shit.
Exactly.
All the tribes. Gad, Reuben. All of them, man. Shit, ain't no sense in going down the list. All of them. Shit.
Jake is waiting for some more smooth.
Yeah,
Jake want, that's what they want. They want to just lie, give me,
Come
okay.
with something
Oh,
else,
well, he
please.
deceived me. I believed him. He deceived me. Bring me another lie.
Yeah.
Really, Jake just,
It'll be big. It's gonna work this time, though.
yeah. They put so much hell on Jake, they just, okay, as long as they ain't fucking with us right now.
Yep.
Really.
Tribe bank
And he
is
starts
at
coming after your government assistance. They say at the end of the June, they gonna put a clamp down on. They gonna regulate what you can buy
With
that
your
EBT.
stamp. No more junk food. JFK Jr. Whatever they do. What is RFK? No more junk food on the food stamp. So that means no more little silver cap children running
about
around.
sugary drinks and stuff.
You see these kids?
Yeah.
Mouth full of little silver caps.
Cause they little Debbie
Snotty
cakes
noses. Yes. And hot pockets. Hot
Little
pockets.
Roscoe's.
hot Cheetos.
Yeah,
Little
Takis.
Roscoe's.
Nigga, why he leave out the house with his rag, his little Debbie cake and a
Switch.
and a bag of hot Cheetos,
Yes.
ready for the street.
Good nigga.
Hey, we
You
got
ain't
that.
hood if you ain't eating hot Cheetos. And drinking Kool-Aid. And we can get a Genesis 49 too.
Isaiah 30.
Bring that up.
This Isaiah 30 and verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the
Started verse
yes.
9?
Yeah.
This Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which say to the seers, see not.
Yeah.
And
Right,
to,
don't tell us about
Yeah,
in other
man,
words,
hey.
don't bring the prophecy of
Please.
Yahweh by Shimon
Yeah.
outside of us.
That's doom and gloom.
Prophets of doom.
We don't want to hear about all this bad stuff that's about to happen. You know how moronic that sounds?
Right.
I don't want to hear about the destruction that's about to take place.
Yeah.
What?
Don't tell me that bus about to hit me.
Right. They ignore
I
the
don't
part
understand
about
it.
the kingdom that we're gonna have a beautiful world again, and righteousness is gonna be everywhere in the earth.
Okay, phantom man.
Hell no, that's
You know?
okay.
But that's part of what we out here saying. That's the message. That's the gospel too. All right. Not only the doom and gloom, but there's a beauty at the end of all of
So
this.
is.
You know.
New heavens and new
Yeah,
earth.
which is beyond Jake's imagination.
Right, because they can't see outside of Esau's rule
They can't see our deliverance.
at all.
What is that? What do you mean deliverance?
UFOs don't come out this. Come on, man, and beam up people. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
that's ridiculous. Jake's
And then some of them gonna be flying around with power. Come on, man.
But you'll listen to a nigga talking about he astral projected
Bro, they'll listen to a nigga that say he got 10 bodies and sold kilos and went to a goddamn private school and went to Juilliard. Let's see.
Jake believes everything but the truth.
Jake don't even want to get out of this construct, man. They want to stay in this matrix.
And you can buy, like the saying goes, you can buy a nigga cheap. It don't take much to keep Jake in this
A
construct.
pair of new shoes. I'm not bullshit. A pair of tennis shoes, and Jake will sit down and smile all day.
Memorial Day, Labor Day, any day that Esau sanctioned as a
4th
day
of July,
to do some shit.
Juneteenth.
That
Niggas
day,
is looking forward to that.
you think it was the kid today. Jake being the spirit like, oh, they ain't catching no hell on these particular days.
Yeah.
Everything is good.
Everybody dressed nice. Everybody looking good.
Smelling good.
Yeah, that's the kid about to feel.
1 Corinthians 2 and 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him.
That's right. Like the chariots, you know, the chariots of Israel. Jake, if they gonna believe anything, they gonna believe what Esau is saying about them, which is their UFOs and what he calls them. What's the other
UAP.
term in the game?
UAPs.
UAP.
Yeah.
Okay, they'll believe, oh, well, these are some aliens. They'll believe that shit. They can believe that there's some little green fucking aliens and some. They don't even know what the word alien means.
Well, they believe that, they got ancient civilizations living outside of
They believe
the
in
Anunnaki.
The fucking Anunnaki. Jake really take hold. They take hold of
All
all
that
different philosophies out here. Esau put this madness out.
Yeah, that's who should be when you listen to Egyptology and that Kemetic shit. That's when you should be like, man, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
What are you
man.
talking about?
Yeah, man.
This is crazy shit.
And then what does it offer to us to get out of his?
All that shit just stay in a ball of deepness in their mind, but it never transitioned over into real time.
Right.
You can't apply it.
Yeah,
It's not happening
Yeah.
in the earth. It's just some deep shit they got in their mind.
The ancestors gonna help them.
No, Seth and Horus.
You gotta learn how to utilize all these chakras.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta pay attention to your affirmations.
Yeah.
That's real.
You gotta be the Air Force samurai. Go ahead.
You was done?
Oh, yeah.
1 Corinthians 2 and 14, it said, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him, neither can he know them,
Right.
but they are spiritually discerned.
That's we talking about everything we really talking about is spiritual. This is a spiritual book. And this is foolishness to Jake, but when Christmas come around, Jake put up Christmas lights and a Christmas tree.
They wear that stupid hat.
Where they got some.
Go take their children to go sit on an Edomite's lap at the mall.
And he probably, bruh,
Y'all gotta be, the church should be in an uproar if y'all was learning anything in there. To be like, why we in here with painting eggs and letting the children go around the church grounds, finding eggs, hidden eggs. And this day is supposed to represent the Lord rising, celebrating the Lord rising after what they say on the third day. The scriptures say, it say on the third day, but then it clarifies after the third day. What does Easter bunny and eggs and all that shit got to do with the Lord being crucified? And to add on to that, it don't say to celebrate that or to commemorate
his
that.
birth.
Well, his birth, or they don't say in the scriptures to, the day that the Lord rose, you're supposed to make a one day to this day. It's just not in there. No, now the Most High could have did it if he wanted to.
Well, what about the eggs and the rabbits? Trees and tinsel and ornaments. Where do all of these things come in? Do they even have pine trees over there in that region? I don't know. I'm not sure. I never looked into it. But I'm just saying. And why a pine tree? Where does any of this? Well, how does this all tie in to the scripture? But you, Jake, like the other said, don't have no understanding because y'all will be in there questioning things.
Right.
Well, look, it says right here, what, Jeremiah 10?
Yep.
Well, look, the Lord said we're not supposed to do this, Pastor.
Right.
You'll be out.
But the scriptures say that the simple believe in every word. We can get that real quick.
Yep.
Proverbs 12 and 21.
Like I said, a lot of people they don't want to follow the scriptures either because they say that that the Most High knows their heart. You ain't got to read no book or this and that.
Yep.
That's why it's just like same thing in Genesis when they said that everybody followed after the imagination of the evil eye.
Yep.
The same thing they do.
Yep.
12 and 16. The simple believe in every word. I think it's 15 or 16. Or maybe
Proverbs 14:15. It
14,
says
15.
the simple believe it. The simple believe in every word.
So you read it, call it again.
Proverbs 14:15. The simple believe in every word.
That's the thing. Jake ain't checking shit out. They not studying. They not looking up words. And even if they were to do it, if the how about from outside don't, allow you access to the Pakadashi, it don't mean nothing anyway.
Yeah. Now that we're in this TikTok age, all right, Jake that's their education.
Yep.
All right, it's through reels and shorts and all this shit is AI generated. I got this little idiot, Iskra, he ain't no Iskra, right? He's a fucking Mexican stick. All right, at my job, and while I'm working, I like this shit. We work individually, so I'll be in my own world. But this is what he just keep running over with his phone. Hey, you seen this? It's a solar flare from the sun. And I'm looking, you can tell shit fake than a motherfucker. Yeah, I'm like, okay, you that grown. You really think this shit showing this ice wall shit, all this AI shit? Jake is really believing this shit.
That's why
sun, that ain't the real sun.
Jake believe in all. That's why the scriptures say, "Be not tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine."
Some of you all shouldn't even have cell phones. Some of y'all believe everything y'all little eyes beholds.
Then they'll lie about, no, I looked into it. I read up on it.
And then a lot of this, in Jake's mind, it doesn't hold any importance. Because what can that do for me right now?
Exactly.
I'm trying to get this money. I need to pay these because Esau got you oppressed. So you trying to figure out how you can get this shit paid before the week is up anyway.
Exactly.
And appease your woman, So, what difference do all of that stuff make? What difference do the scriptures, Yahweh, looking in, who cares what the word world means in John 3:16?
Right.
I can't eat a book.
Right.
With my own belly.
But I'll go and get fed a feel good message on Sunday. And we'll take that.
Right.
Can you go read that again? Proverbs 14.
Proverbs 14:15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going.
Yep. Check things out.
Right.
See what's about to happen before it happens. Now that's the problem with Jake. The reason they'll get into all this folly is really because of the false leadership amongst Jake. They just gonna follow what the hell these bootleg pastors.
Yep.
And they bootleg other guys. Gino Jennings and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Yes.
And Cornell X.
Yeah.
Cornell and Cornell.
Did y'all see TD Jake stepping down that whole coronation? His son all on the day. Full of demons, boy. If y'all want to laugh, that is some funny shit. When you got a few minutes and you just feel like laughing and seeing the sottishness of our people, Them niggas was laying on the ground. I'm like, man, get your big ass up off the floor, man. But that's what people, they entertained by that. Ooh, they must got the spirit in them. He fell out on the floor, girl. That's that anointing on him. So, these niggas crazy. But, hey, they go back like the others were talking about. That's what Jake want to hear. All that TD Jake shit. Right. Oh, yeah. Go back.
They love to sit around listening to stories.
Yeah. Sure do.
Fables and shit.
Yeah.
Joel Osteen's full of jakes.
He's just a motivational speaker. Yeah. And that's what you Jakes is out there y'all looking for motivation. Because you out of gas, man.
Keep going.
Yeah.
They going there to get you. Yeah, you should go to church to get something out of it, but it should be the truth.
The truth.
You should be getting edified. You know, the purpose is to go to church, talking about the real church is to be edified.
Yep.
Build your spirit up. You know, not to get a feel good message that ain't gonna happen. That don't pan out ever.
When
Never
pan out.
Well, I did get that promotion at work. They paid me 30 more cents.
Right.
And Jesus did that.
I got a promotion, but then they didn't dump the gang of more responsibilities on you.
Yeah.
So the amount of responsibilities that you got to take up versus the, you know,
it don't weigh out.
It
kill you faster, stress you out, breaks you down internally, mentally, and physically. Okay? Doing all of that goddamn work, trading
for $1 more. You got $2 to do.
This is terrible.
You're still underpaid.
We just exist. We are not living here. Well, the elect is living because they got the life in them. You know? Right. Say that. Yeah. But the rest of this is not living, man.
Well, y'all talk about you have the guy who will sleep 3 days and miss everything. You got motherfuckers who sleep every day spiritually. So they ain't seeing shit because they caught up in the rat race. Right. That you don't have during the week, if you work, you have children, obligations, you ain't got no time to do shit.
And that's what Esau wants. He want to occupy all your time with his bullshit.
Yep.
And once you get through running in this rat race, take you a little nap and run, and then get up and run again.
You forgot to say eat some non-food because you're not getting nutrients.
Because you got to stop. You can't got time. You got to stop somewhere and get something to eat quick on the way home. You got processed bullshit up here.
That's why Esau knew that the whole energy drink and
damn.
That's a big, that's a humongous market.
Ain't coffee like the #1 commodity? Is that a pork belly or something?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, pork belly stale.
Coffee.
Of the nation during the territory.
See that?
Because people need it to make it through the rat race.
And these processed sugars and these energies are shit.
Starbucks ain't going out of business no time soon.
You at the pump getting gas. You don't see somebody come out of that convenience store with a monster or something.
What about a 5-hour energy drink? I had started fucking with them things for a little while.
They didn't have that shit when we there wasn't no big ass market for energy drinks and all that shit.
Don't drink
in the 90s and shit.
That's the mark of the beast over there. Y'all better be looking at the mark of the beast.
That's evil.
Quit for Dr. Umar get
hey, can we go back to that Isaiah?
I'll get that nigga a soul flick.
Sonic boom, that nigga.
So Isaiah 30 and verse 10, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things.
So what is prophesied? To say before. People don't want to know what's coming unless it's something that pertains to what they want.
Right.
Because what we telling them is the destruction is going to lead to our eternal promise, man. But Jacob's been beaten down so much, they can't see themselves in no rulership position.
Yeah.
They can't see themselves in order.
Unless they rulers or they kings in their mind. I'm king of the South. How the fuck you the king of the South, but your ass went to jail or prison for some gun charges You know, you got out, however that happened.
Yeah, you married to Miss
Kings don't get locked up. King of the
Right.
be king of the wrong, king
Right,
of the ghetto, king
right.
of the south.
Kings got virgins for wives.
And harem.
Right.
And rule things.
And king don't have a problem getting in his
This gated community.
They have kingdom.
A king will come back to his castle. He can't get in his castle. He having trouble getting up in his castle. They don't know who he is.
I'm the one that paid the mortgage in here.
Yeah, well, you're not going through that gate. And I don't make a smidgen of what you make, and I can keep you out.
Yeah, but kings don't. It's not a castle here. Then next door is another castle, and it's all these different. You know, you a king, but then you go into a gated. There's plenty of many houses in that gated community.
Right. All paying taxes. None of them own the mineral rights to their land.
None of them
You don't own nothing.
A allodial title.
You don't own Il Silcho. But I'm the king, homie.
But that really, in real, the king is just, I'm on, having some of Esau.
Ego tripping.
Yeah, that's all that is.
You got niggas out here, you got the king of the ghetto.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 10, we say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things.
Hey, that's why it ain't hard to be a false prophet. All right? You can come up with some bullshit that sound good, and I'll listen to that. That sound good. Ain't no Jacob trouble. Oh, that sound great.
Oh, we can have a celebration and give out awards?
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Right.
My
wife
ears
can get involved.
Yeah. Oh, I can get married, get a woman.
Yeah, you ain't doing that. You sitting on the couch, might as well
get in the truth. You might as well come get in the truth. Come get in the truth. Like we just got to open the, y'all come get in the truth now.
Right.
It don't work like that, man.
Yeah, you get a garment and a Hebrew national hot dog.
It don't work that way.
It do not work.
We don't bring people in
right.
Truth. Can somebody get the 1 Corinthians, the first chapter? Apollo's water. The third chapter. Yes. I'm bring this St. John 15 and 16 now. Yeah. This is St. John 15 and 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name.
That's like it. See, it said that your fruit should remain. You open up them gates and just gather and give a guy a shirt with fringes on it, and just snatching up any dude that's with a beard, all right, and putting them on the side of you, that's not fruit that's gonna remain, man. That's what you see. These guys never speak. When you watch a lot of these other camps, you see it's always the main. There's only one or two guys that speak.
They just bringing in everything, any old fruit, so to speak.
Well, they gotta wait. You gotta give them time. They just got out the penitentiary.
Yeah, that's why the scriptures say you're gonna bring forth fruit meet for repentance.
Yeah.
That's why we check guys out and read their spirit and build them up. Yeah, build them up.
Prove a friend.
And then
You
make
know,
sure
don't
they
have
retain it.
a man that shouldn't be in the camp that don't understand what this is all about.
Right.
You in the camp, so I got fringes on, the white man, the
That's
devil.
right.
I got a wife. We get to go to cookouts. We get to dress up on the Passover and go to a concert.
Yeah.
They think, a concert coming up. In their mind, the Passover is like a concert.
I got to meet the bishop.
Shit. And they like going places with their t-shirt with fringes on for attention.
Yeah.
Oh, I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Hey, sister. Yeah. Hey, where your fringes at, brother?
Yeah.
And Jake that don't believe, they're disgusted with that.
Yeah.
They're disgusted with their heritage.
Yep.
They Israelite. They don't hear nothing
They
about
don't hear nothing about that. That's not why I'm here. I can't even watch the movie.
I
man.
heard about them Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, Jake living so grimy and slimy and got nerve enough to have a negative thought about the Israelites.
Right.
Any group. The shittiest Jake is living and the shit that they into, they ain't got room to say nothing
That's
against
why
nothing.
it don't make sense to argue with Keisha, Shirley.
Why are you in the
For
room
what?
with them?
We don't need y'all niggas validation, man. So you don't believe? We don't let your incredulity bother us.
We know you're not gonna believe. You can look at certain Jay, you know this
You
nigga.
already, you can see the demons bubbling off of them.
If you're a spiritual man, you're gonna be able to recognize certain things, man.
Yep, and that's what the scriptures say with in the book of Hebrews about the scriptures being a two-edged sword.
Right.
It give us the power to discern spirits. Once you come up on the level, you don't just come in this thing off the jump. We all first came into this knowledge, and just have the ability to discern spirits.
Right.
But then you get on the level,
Hey, something is simple, man. The Most High bless the servants, man. You focus on serving, that's when the Most High elevates you spiritually. Like something like holding posts is a serious office, man, when you're out there in the block, man.
Shit, yes.
When you used to be holding posts, we watching two blocks away, looking at a crazy looking nigga. This nigga, he got demons on him. Right. And you in your mind, I gotta protect the brothers, man. The brothers speaking, reading. My job is to hold posts. I'm like, I got a day.
He be that guy, man. I should be reading.
I want to
get on.
Man, we had a precept that was two precepts for that.
They just acknowledged I had that.
Yeah, I had a precept I had with to shut that down.
They won't let me speak.
That's your mindset. You in the wrong place.
That's what the Most High will elevate spiritually.
Yeah.
A guy like that, he'll learn a whole bunch of things, but then he never understands. So he stays in one spot. But in his mind, because I can remember a whole bunch of different information and breakdowns and scriptures, but spiritually, you ain't got no growth.
Yeah. The scriptures speak about going from glory to glory. You ain't gonna transfer from one to the other like with that type of mindset.
All right, First Corinthians.
Yeah, that's what it is. 3.
This is First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, I have planted, Apollos watered, but the Most High gave the increase.
Right, because we were talking about like ISUPK, had that video saying, "Come on, get down with the truth." And they was luring them. They put out a luring message through. You can get you a job.
It's easy to sell something. Exactly. That's easy. You can always tell Jake that. You ain't doing nothing no way. That's why Esau said that in that commercial. You might as well. You ain't doing shit but sitting on the couch anyway. We know you niggas been shit. Yeah. Mount Everest. Yeah, Mount Everest.
Hey, you have men that join. They just join to be in some type of club or an organization or a group and to be part of something for whatever they reason was. The sincere men that are out teaching and laboring and done study and we didn't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna go down there and join the group.
Yeah, it wasn't one.
Or we go, I'm gonna go up to New York and get down with them men.
Yeah.
See if I can get in up there. I want to be a part of what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And we wanted to be a part, but it wasn't for that reason.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Scared.
Yeah. That's why we wanted to get in it, because we was terrified, bro.
We believe.
Yep.
That's it.
Then the spiritual thing happened through Pastor Jahar. He said, get out and go teach, man.
Yep.
That was a heavy energy when the YouTube thing first kicked off. Was get out there and go teach.
I remember that too, bro. Me and Tasha Pop was sitting watching when he said, "All right, hey, now y'all done been anointed, man. Get out there and teach." He said y'all done been anointed. He said that, bro. When he said that, I looked at me, he was like, "That's it." And shit, that night, I think we were sitting on your balcony and you had posed some drinks and we toasted. And we were like, shit, we gonna start a camp. Yep, just like that.
You were still going to Dallas at that time, huh?
Going night, I don't remember.
I don't think you had been nowhere yet. But I think he had said that it was right before that. And then Aki went out there, he was with them brothers, he came back. That was it. It was like nothing, bro, none of this was planned.
Yeah, how we met y'all that night at Carl House.
Yep.
Carl.
Yeah, Carl. That nigga don't believe in nothing no more. Yeah, he don't know who he is.
Yeah, we was like, shit, we didn't know. We like, man, we gotta go back to that house. That's shit, we don't know.
Wherever they,
yeah. We're talking about something over there and shit. Yeah, that was today to really kick off the Houston camp.
Nah. He ain't got a stove. He did look like he had, but he
put some more in there. You could finish that out.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, "Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor."
Okay, that's the point. The point is that the Most High gives the increase. Yes, we're doing the work. We the workmen.
I skipped the
It's
like, okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 7, it says, "So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one, and every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor."
Yeah. So we don't really have the power to bring nobody into the faith. We just got the power to do this work. We have to not the power of the Holy Spirit, to teach, right? But we don't have to say, okay, just because we teaching, I did all this teaching, he didn't suck it all, took it all in. All right, now it's time for you to come on, and wake up, because you can teach an individual till you blue in the face.
Right.
That don't mean he gonna get it.
No.
How about you? I wish I wanted to get it.
Yep. Even our increase in our walk, we not making ourselves increase. The Most High increases. From one glory to the next. Not us. We never got to a position where we are in this thing on our own. The Most High keep putting us in position, giving us different understanding. Giving us the ability to come out here. We didn't make it. Oh shit! I'm gonna make myself go out. We didn't. Nothing
Right.
we doing. Nothing. The Most High make it all possible.
And the proof is, you can't go out for year after year after year after year after year. Eventually, if you full of shit,
It's gonna come out.
You gonna come out, and you gonna stop coming out.
Yep.
Stop doing the work.
A lot of guys, like the apostles say, they got disenchanted. It was oh shit, oh. Then, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, what's new now?
Yeah, I know. And then he just quit showing up. It ain't exciting no more. This thing is getting more and more exciting by the second.
Right. Apostle Rumblon, Elder Canuck just did a video titled "One Excited, Now Two Excited."
Look at that.
Yes, because we see the prophecy.
Yep.
At the last prophecy at the door.
Yep.
You see, and we done seen prophecy fulfilled.
Yep.
Hey, the Ezekiel 37.
Yep.
We
Right now.
witnessed that.
Yep.
Or witnessing that.
Yep.
We living it.
We living it.
We living it.
Yeah,
the
that's
exciting
living it.
part.
That's
What
living
we've been teaching, we living it now.
Yep.
What we've been talking about, we living through it.
Yep.
Yep. We watching. It was prophesied that men was gonna fall out of this thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Me and El Abayi was talking last night, and we like, shit, man, the Most High said, what? I give you not the spirit of fear.
Yep.
We not nervous. We ain't scared. We rejoicing because we believe that in the process to get to the kingdom.
Right. That's the exciting part is about these prophecies popping off and at the door to pop off. You see? Yeah, we wasn't brought in this thing for excitement as far as, studying, studying, and I mean, we wasn't brought in this thing to feel good and we brought this thing to work.
Yeah, it's business time.
Exactly. When you
To
show up
serve.
to work, you don't get mad because you ain't having fun.
Our job is to serve. Serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua by doing his work. It's that simple. Yahushua left us with the money, the spiritual money.
Yep.
Which is
And
the
you
wisdom.
required with using.
That's it.
Shit.
That's
Don't hide the
25.
telly. That's right. Don't fear it. You know?
I was there when Yahushua, he had disciples, and disciples was like the discipline.
Yep.
Being disciplined, that's basically doing things that you know you're supposed to do, no matter what you feel like.
Yeah. What Mike Tyson had said at that time, he said, discipline is doing what you don't. How he said it?
How did it say it? Doing with things you hate to
Do or don't want to do something like that. Yeah. But check it out. When you do it, man, you feel so much better.
Exactly. When you didn't put in like this on the study, and when you didn't study, and now you didn't, you learn this, you're learning the breakdowns. I'm talking about like when you first come in this thing, you learning all the different breakdowns. It feels good once you know. Once you didn't put in that that work, to get to understand.
Sitting in the room by yourself, and I gotta read. I need to get some reading in. Ain't nobody around. You reading it. You in there, woo, you excited, just sitting in there reading stuff. Something you done read 100 times, man. Right. That's the spirit dealing with you.
Yeah, when you build enough muscles, that don't feel fun.
Yeah, no pain, no gain.
But when you see the result,
and you sitting there.
Yeah. Do the creme de la creme.
Yeah. Posing for the gram.
Ladies love
Then you see the results, they pay off, man. Oh, and you definitely feel justified in getting a little pleasure, You feel funny when you going to have fun and you ain't did no work. Yeah,
when you on the job,
I don't really think I'm gonna have
an hour lunch, but you ain't done no work.
This Romans chapter 8 and verse 17. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs. 16. This Romans chapter 8 and verse 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High power.
And that's what it boils down to, man. See, Yahweh put the spirit of understanding on you or not. All right, that's why first of all, if everybody is just going to believe it, then that makes the Most High a liar, man. Okay, there's 2/3 on the shores of America, all right, that have to be put to death, man, because of their unbelief, because of their lack of faith. All right, but for the elect, all right, the spirit, we see, it's evident we the Israelites.
Right.
So everything pertaining, the promises pertaining unto the Israelites belong to us.
Yep.
And verse 17, and if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him.
Exactly, that's the key thing. Jake want to skip that part. Right. Jake just want to be in the kingdom. Which if you don't understand that the process of going through the suffering first, you really don't believe in the promise because you're not willing to go through what it takes to get to it. So you are suffering. No, I want to go. Well, the bishop said this. Well, I'm gonna go over here. That's where that itching ears kick in because you don't want to deal with the nastiness of the scriptures, man. All right, no, it's beautiful when you suffer through something. You just damn near killed yourself for Esau. in the world.
But they can see the reward.
Yeah. If you was in the sports arena trying to make it and run on professional leagues, you the man out here in Texas. It's a normal thing for football players to die of heat strokes or in football practice, man, doing practice in 2 days in triple degree weather.
Trying to get to a higher level of slavery.
Yeah.
More,
Bigger
it's
plan.
really worse when you get up there. When you get up there being an actor and an entertainer and an athlete, you more restricted and you're going to get fucked with more. You're more regulated is what I mean. I said restricted. You're more regulated when you get on that level. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got to, especially with being a pro athlete.
Look at Iverson. They changed a whole bunch of regulations in the NBA because of Iverson. But he was speaking on how holidays he wanted to go home and see his family and people. Your ass gonna get fined if you ain't in practice. All right, now okay, no more t-shirts and jewelry. Y'all need to wear suits and shit. Cover up your tattoos, no braids. Is that freedom?
Hey,
They blackballed him.
and they clearly show you the separation with the laxity of the rules. When you watch baseball and hockey, they'll have brawls and keep the camera on it. Oh yeah, well they're going to town now. Oh, looks like he knocked out 5 of his teeth. Oh my God, look at the blood on the ice. Jake do this, raise their arm, they go straight to commercial. Because Jake looks so much more savage fighting amongst, the players than what Esau do.
Yeah, they knocking. Yeah, like you said, it's blood on the ice.
Blood on the
getting
ice.
knocked out.
Yeah. They in there hitting people in the face with docking sticks, man.
Right.
Fighting. I'm talking about they throw their shit off. They let them brawl. The ref might come over there.
Shit, with the baseball, the coaches.
Then you put them in timeout. You go to the box. You go to the penalty box. But when it's Jake, not only are they gonna cut the commercial, when we come back, you gonna be in the locker room getting ready to hit the bus or where it go.
Yeah,
you gonna sit
let the
down.
world know you got reprimanded.
And you gonna get fined out the ass.
Yeah, $50,000 fine.
For arguing, for talking. A whole court for this.
Yeah.
But niggas better stay in line. And practice is at 5:30 a.m. sharp. Don't be late. We're running drills in the morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, I was just thinking about Iverson. He was the MVP and coming off the bench. He was the league's MVP coming off the bench, man. To show you how much, like you said, the difference in between these Edomite dominant sports versus Jacob. You gotta stay in fucking line, man. You just signed that contract, you agreed to these circumstances, you gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll run your ass off. Yeah, no team will pick you up now.
Right. And don't think we can't get 20 more niggas that can jump and throw the
shit. They lined up.
They all over the place. Jake with talent is everywhere. It's not like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, especially now. These little GMO babies, these little niggas with brittle bones, they is doing miraculous
jumping
shit.
40 inches, 40 inches vertical is normal now.
Yeah, at 5'6".
Because they body, they not getting nothing organic no more. They eating chemicals and goo. You know? Ain't no telling what that shit is doing to their world. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Chad Ochocinco.
But they taking supplements and shit, it's all kind of supplements.
Because he know a way to get around. Okay, you're not on steroids. It's steroids, but it ain't steroids. We call it something else. He know how to get around all of that shit, man. You know? What we had?
Romans chapter 8 and verse 17.
Get Romans 12 too.
And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him.
Just that alone.
Yeah.
That's, man, to the possibility of being, it's automatic for Israel to being the first go around all right, being beamed up, man. Okay, and being the first ones to inherit the kingdom with Yahweh Shai, man.
Wouldn't you want to enhance your chances of trying to be of that number?
Yeah, what I gotta do? What I gotta sacrifice to be part of that?
Yourself. That's why I said you
God, that's it.
You gotta believe. They don't believe it.
Romans 12.
Yep, being of that the first dominion.
God, the first fruits. That's something that ain't nothing worse worth. All right, losing that over. All right, the opportunity today to find out, man, if you was one of the spirits to help you out with shot, create all of this, man. Create a paradise, man, not this shit we see today.
It's Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High Power, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
And that's an initial cut to these individualites and these niggas who don't want to go out on the highways and byways. All right, we think we these keyboard gladiators, man. All right, hey, we out here on the front line, man. You have niggas that live on comment boards, never been out on the block to show their faith, prove that you believe, man. All right.
Yeah, that ain't truly studied. I mean, most of these people, you know, they got something to say, they just talking. While men that's out here prophesying and teaching, then put in a lot of time and effort in, studying, and checking things out and watching. Go ahead.
Romans chapter 12 verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
read it again from the top about
This Romans,
Reasonable service.
Yeah.
Yes, just the Most High ain't asking us to do no crazy things. And he study, be sincere,
Can we get that word
be a
reasonable
brother.
in that verse?
Right.
Be a brother and teach, man.
Right. I was gonna say, isn't it reasonable after the sacrifice that Yahweh
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, this is very
Imagine
reasonable.
your friend did all of that for you. You don't think that just out of the common courtesy
Right.
that you should be willing to stick your life out on the line,
Right.
stick your neck out for all of what that friend did for you and what he went through when he could have been like, he couldn't have, but he had the power to be like, man, fuck this shit and you niggas.
Right.
But he did. So wouldn't it just be, man, this man did all this shit for
Right.
me. Jake show more fucking motherfuckers get Jake on at a job, they'll do more for Jake for that
Right.
guy.
Yeah.
He got me on, man. I'm making $15 an hour, dog. Yeah. I'm gonna throw a nigga barbecue. I ain't even lying. And here is the Lord to sacrifice his blood was shed. Okay?
Yeah.
He did all he did without the pleasures that you niggas enjoy, right? And he was in the flesh, but he denied all of that shit for us.
Exactly.
So wouldn't it just be like, what?
It's
Let me do
the honorable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got certain movies that show you, like, if a man then died of trying to accomplish something, you live your life onto the name of that individual that was trying to accomplish something, like in that movie
300.
Yeah.
The one with the patch at the end.
Yeah.
He came back and he told the story about King Leonidas in the 300. And he kept on going with that energy, man.
Mm-hmm. Like in that movie Bloodsport.
I've never seen that.
With Jean-Claude Van Damme, but in the movie, it's the guy that he learned the martial arts from. His son died. He wanted to, it was a custom to pass on that martial art tradition. Yeah. I forget the name of the style or whatever it was in the movie. But they But they passed that on from, from father to son, generation to generation, right? So his son died, and in the movie that Jean-Claude Van Damme he wanted to win the tournament in honor of
Right.
his teacher's son.
Right. And you see that a lot of times. Say a boxer been boxing, his trainer dies, and then they get to the fight. Yeah, I want to dedicate this fight to my late trainer, Joe Vinci, whatever the fuck,
Yeah, like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson wanted what's his name?
Cuss.
Yeah, Cuss, but he wanted to kick
Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes ass
For beating up Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, when Muhammad Ali was pretty much done at that
done.
point.
He couldn't wait to get in there and revenge.
Right. So what did that? Did he just have it in his mind? Oh, I can't wait to revenge. No, when he was in there working and training, he was training hard as hell because he said, I'm gonna destroy this dude when his fight was serious.
Shouldn't have never did that to the champ. Yep.
So how much more?
Right. Yep. Yep.
For us in this knowledge to do this work, and put our life on the line to serve Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Yep.
To honor him.
Yep.
So y'all got
To
the
do
word.
what's will please.
Is that reasonable? In Romans 12:1, G3050, logicos, says, pertaining to speech or speaking, pertaining to the reason or logic, agreeable to reason, following reason, reasonable and logical.
Hey, well, that's a beautiful definition. That's the logical thing to do.
Right. Logically thinking, logically speaking. Yeah. Can you look up the word logic on the etymology? Let's just see what it say. They got a rapper named Logic that look like an Edomite, but he's a J. Hey, lessons within lessons.
This is logical on online etymology.
That rapper Logic is a black dude.
Yeah.
So to put it in simple terms.
First of all, he too close.
Probably go to Logic.
Yeah.
Just Logic.
Just Logic.
It should be in that body of the definition.
The signal on one signal.
Yeah. Etymology online.
You got it. It says branch of logic. It says branch of philosophy that treats the forms of thinking, the science of distinction of true from false reasoning.
Read that part again.
If you reason
the
within
science,
yourself,
and we know the true
I
definition
should
of
get my
science.
ass out there and present my body here.
Yeah, it's
True reasoning in your Not man, no. I just bought a piece of land.
Not emotional reason. I'm really
Right.
So that really ain't. I'm trying to swing your reason. You're corrupting reasoning with emotion.
Right.
It says the science of distinction.
Science is truth, right?
Yep, to know. It says the science of distinction of truth from false reasoning. So this is through the Spirit we've been given, all right, that understanding that this is the true reasoning. This is the true reasonable thing to do. All right, other men have been given the false reasoning.
Yep.
Get out Get the. I don't think it's a compound word, but do we have anything else on it?
Says pertaining to speaking or reasoning, logos, reason, idea, word. That's sensitive.
That's the Jepta of that damn group with Jepta to we don't go out on the highways no more. We ain't gotta do that no more. That's
One
stupid.
body?
Yeah, one body,
Yep.
So they don't believe. They don't believe.
Yeah.
They don't believe in. They really don't believe in Yahweh Shai.
No, they don't have
Because if you don't believe in the divineness of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, then you don't believe.
Yeah, them
You
guys.
can't just believe he was a man on the earth,
Right.
and say you believe in him, and you don't
No
believe.
miracles.
Those aren't logical guys.
You know.
Yeah.
They know they're not. They sure ain't. And like the scriptures say, wax worse and worse. They one of the groups that wax worse the fastest, boy.
They been
Y'all
giving false
snowball
reasoning.
down the
Your
hill.
reasoning is not true.
Those, you know how we go into how Nate and them have to be. Nate, the IUIC is really, especially at the leadership, will have to be some of the wicked scribes and Pharisees coming back. Well, I believe, you know, they could be low level, but they coming in the spirit of the Sadducees, the one body.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We just exist
And
right
didn't they
now.
break off from Nate then? They said break
believe
off
so.
from
I can't
IUIC? See? Because the Sadducees just believe that shit, once you, there ain't no spiritual realm. It's just like, it's just
Right
the,
now.
the 3D physical world. They just was corner, you know, it just corner. They didn't believe in the spiritual.
Wow.
Just finished at Romans 12. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service.
Yep. Which is our reasonable service.
Yeah.
Okay. The elect is going to understand that. They're going to reason within themselves. You know what? I need to do this for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. If it wasn't for him,
Right.
it wouldn't be nothing.
Right. I need to give my life to him.
Yes. R. Kelly got a song called Trade in My Life for you. You trade in my life. I listened to that shit yesterday and I'm thinking to myself, damn, this nigga, you know, he don't realize what he's saying. He'll trade in his life, but what you trading your life for?
Sitting in jail cell with spiders.
Well, the people in this world, what are they trading their life for? Really the dollar bill. Really money and happiness. A false reality. All false. F-A-U-X.
And the scriptures talk about having the mind of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He gave up his life for the whole nation, man.
And he wasn't tempted by the things of
We
this
doing
world.
the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, we sacrificing for the betterment, all right, of the building of the house of David, man. We sacrificing for the whole nation.
Yep. Yep.
Not on the level of Yahweh Shai, of course. Don't get simple. Okay, but we sacrificing for our brothers, man. Every time you do a lesson, all right, you doing this, hey man, for the edification of the body.
Yeah, because hey, the elect is Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
He's the head, the elect is the body.
Y'all know we doing this for 2/3 of our people too.
That's it.
Even you niggas that don't believe. Yeah. I say this, you niggas better hope we right.
Because we ultimately doing it.
What's the alternative?
We doing this. We concerned with the elect.
Give me the fraud.
And we know that only the elect is going to get this. But ultimately, we're doing this for the whole nation of Israel.
Yeah.
Because why? The nation, us doing this is going to bring about the kingdom. And the 2/3, all right, and these other jakes that perish, they're going to come back in the kingdom. Okay, in a righteous way.
Yeah.
A righteous mind.
Yeah.
You know? I got a quick precept. 2 Corinthians 5 and 15, and that he died for all, Yahweh Shai, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again.
Selfless. It ain't about us. It's about the Lord. Read it again.
2 Corinthians 5 and 15, and that he died for all, starting with the elect.
Right.
But he did die for all of Israel.
Yep. And the him is Yahweh Shai, our Lord and Savior. Okay? His blood was shed for us. Revelation 1 and 5.
Yep. And it really right here is dealing with the
The elect.
elect, you know.
Yep.
That they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves.
Yep. That's the key point.
But unto him,
Because who's living?
that's
The
it,
ones that receive life, which is the Spirit.
so now that you believe, it ain't about you. Understand that.
It's just like how you know how they tell people, well, y'all done got together and had a baby. It ain't about y'all no more. It's about that child. You know? So in this sense, it ain't about, okay, I done been brought into this life. Well, it ain't about me. I have a papa. Two body. Chop chop. Go ahead.
Say, but unto him which died for them and rose again.
I agree from the top out
Okay.
and we can finish out on this.
2 Corinthians 5 and 15, and that he died for all, that they which live should not henceforth live unto themselves, but unto him which died for them and rose again.
But live unto Yahushua. It's that simple. Which is our reasonable service. And when you servicing something, that's working.
That's it.
You ever went to a service station?
Yeah.
They used to have full serve
Yep.
and self-serve.
That's it.
But serving is serving. That's work.
Right. That's we're ministers of the ministry. The ministry of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. The ministry means service. Service. The minister means service.
Yep.
Priest as well.
That's right.
You know, because what did the priest do? I'm talking about we're priests now, but I mean the priests under the Levitical priesthood. They were serving the nation of Israel, doing the sacrifices, all right, burning the incense. They were keeping the order of the temple so that Israel could deal with Yahweh, you know. Prayer and sacrifice. They were, you know, performing the service. That's why, you know, the priest is really supposed to be taken care of. You know?
Here it is, we working two jobs. I'm fucking around. Brothers is working two jobs, though. Shit. That's where we at in this thing. We're not in the time where the people gonna be taking care of us.
We are working. All of us working.
Yeah, we all working, goddamn.
Yeah, because we gotta work. Whether you working 1 or 2 or 3 jobs
In that sense,
and then we gotta do this work.
Yeah.
And that work is
Light
easy
work.
work as far as the actual work
Right.
itself. It's just taking up fucking time.
You know why? Because just about anybody can do the work in the world.
Right.
Everybody can't do this work.
Right. You can, if they don't have the knowledge that you can train them. And if you train the person, you know, everybody got a different learning curve, but if you train somebody for long enough, they'll get it. They'll be able to do whatever the job requires, but not over here.
A mechanical lathe.
You got to
manual
call
lathe.
them to the school.
That's right. Yeah, I could lay a sidewalk or a driveway if somebody showed me how to do it. Shit. You know? I never was taught that. I never learned that. I could learn how to be an electrician. You know? If somebody showed me. But everybody can't learn to be a prophet.
No.
You either born a prophet or you ain't.
Yeah, the proof is the men who fell out.
Woo!
Because we have class settings, we have all different avenues for you to get this knowledge, man, to get built up.
Keep
So
learning
like
the
you say,
trade.
you talk about the training, among behind the scenes. See, people don't know what
see
goes
the
on. Hey, we get trained up, we get built up. Okay, we go through training, spiritual training,
Right.
but it's either you elected to get it or not.
And we not gonna be chasing behind nobody to do none of that.
Yeah, we're not twisting on for you to get it.
Yeah. See, amongst the other camps, it's a revolving door because they bringing in anybody and they fall out, they don't believe. And amongst us, it's a revolving door because if
they just, I'm gonna stop coming for whatever reason.
I ain't getting to camp yet. Yeah, on Fox News. Yeah, you know. So with that, man, Lord willing, edification went out today. We're gonna close out, okay? As we see the end is manifesting itself, man. All right. So we not long to be here. So with that, we pray that brothers and a few sisters that might be watching is edified. And until the next time, we're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Zakodash.
double honors again to the elder high priest that taught our elder apostles, double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishop and great millstone. Peace and blessings unto the elect of the nation of Israel.